Okay, what if I told you there's a single company that gets a tiny little piece of the action every single time you send a text, stream a video, or make a phone call? You've probably never even heard of them, but they are the silent gatekeepers of our entire wireless world. Today, we're diving deep into American Tower.
Now, I know what you're thinking. A landlord. How exciting can that be? But hold on. What if this landlord had the best tenants you could possibly imagine? Tenants who almost never leave and who are contractually guaranteed to pay more rent every single year. Yeah, that might just change your mind. Because you see, American Tower isn't really renting out apartments or office space, it's the gatekeeper. It owns the absolutely essential physical infrastructure that makes our modern, constantly connected lives even possible. All right, so let's dig into the big idea here. The best way to think about American Tower is not as a real estate company, but as a digital toll booth. Its business is, at its core, pretty simple. It owns and operates the actual physical towers that cell providers, the big guys like Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, need to place their antennas on. So whenever you're using your phone, you're paying a tiny, invisible toll to a company just like them. And here's the kicker. As our hunger for data just explodes with every new generation, from 1G to 5G and whatever comes next, their business just gets better and better. But the real genius, the true beauty of this business model, isn't just owning the land. It's the simple but incredibly powerful math behind how each one of these towers makes money. So here's how it works. Building a cell tower costs a lot of money up front. It's a big initial investment. But once that tower is up, signing just one tenant, let's say it's Verizon, is usually enough to cover all those costs and break even. Now this is where the magic happens. When a second tenant, like AT&T, wants to come on board, there are basically no new costs. Same thing for a third tenant. Just think about that for a second. The return on adding that second or third tenant is over 90%. That's not revenue. We're talking about almost pure profit. Pretty much every single dollar from those new tenants flows straight to the bottom line. It is a phenomenally profitable model. Oh, but wait, it gets even better. This revenue, it's incredibly stable and predictable. Tenants sign these super long-term contracts, often for 10 years or more, and built right into those contracts are automatic annual rent escalators. That means the rent just goes up every single year like clockwork. What you get is this beautiful, predictable, constantly rising stream of cash. So the obvious question is, if this business is so unbelievably profitable, why doesn't everybody just start building their own towers? Well, that brings us to the company's incredibly powerful competitive moat. Basically, the structural advantages that make it almost impossible for anyone else to compete. The first part of that moat is what we call high switching costs. Think about moving your office. It's a hassle, sure, but it's doable. Now imagine you're a wireless carrier trying to move your antennas from one tower to another. It's not just a hassle, it's a complete nightmare. It is unbelievably expensive, and worse, it would cause a massive disruption to your network, which could mean losing a ton of angry customers. The bottom line is simple. Once a carrier puts their antennas on a tower, they basically never, ever leave. And the second part of this moat is a cool concept called efficient scale. Because American Tower already has this huge network of towers in all the best locations, they can serve their tenants way cheaper than a new competitor ever could. I mean, think about it. Building a brand new tower right next to an existing one just to try and steal one tenant, it makes absolutely zero economic sense. The market's already served, which creates a kind of natural monopoly in a lot of these locations. So when you put it all together, you've got this digital toll booth model, you've got this incredible profitability, and you've got this nearly unbreakable competitive moat. What you end up with is something way, way more than just a typical real estate company. And that really gets to the core idea of this whole explainer. American Tower isn't just a landlord. It's a high-growth infrastructure compounder that just happens to be disguised as a real estate company. It's structured as a REIT, a real estate investment trust, but that's just a label. So unlike a normal real estate company that owns, say, office buildings and is just focused on collecting a steady rent check, this company is a growth engine. Its growth isn't tied to the housing market or office vacancies. Nope. It's tied directly to our planet's unstoppable, ever-increasing demand for more data. So I'll leave you with this thought. We always hear that data is the new oil, right? Well, if that's true, then the real question is, who owns the pipelines? And as we've just seen, American Tower owns a whole lot of those pipelines. In the world we live in today,
That is an incredibly powerful place to be.